Hello, beautiful people, future me. Looks like this week we are attacking uh, attacking the execute program. So let's continue in it. As you already probably know, we are starting here with typing practice because you guessed it, as a programmer, you do a lot of typing. So I press this beautiful improve typing button, and hopefully that will do exactly what it says. Because I was looking at some of my previous video and I had similar results to what I get right now, but months ago. Yeah, but I had uh, some pause in there as well, so hopefully I'm improving. Ah, oh well. All right, 4.5 minutes. That's about it. 4%, 4%, 4%, 4%, 4%. That's good. Let's keep it there, and push it down. All right. So, as I said, seems like we are at the King Execute program. We have a few courses available. And that is SQL, JavaScript, and TypeScript, I believe. Um, we can randomly choose using this wheel of names page what I will be working on right now. So we'll do exactly that. Go. Oh, JavaScript. All right. This one. Continue. And we have a 25 minutes. All right. So. Let's just continue. I had to check in here or something, but now I'm all yours. There's three things, and you probably already know how it goes. I will write a single line script here in Math, Seal, and then, yeah, but we have a free things to choose from, so go, and it's free. Does it work? Really? Like, quite often it takes the highest value. All right, so accessors in object literals. Modern JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript has always had object literals. Name, yeah. So this is it. This is called object literal, like this thing part or what? With the object syntax above, we can also no literal is like the entire thing in the curly braces, I believe. We can only create objects with fixed properties. The properties values can't change over time unless we modify the object. Yeah, so that means this has one property and that is a name. And we cannot suddenly say like user is name and surname. In modern JavaScript, the object can also have dynamic properties. Oh dear Lord. You're just asking for it to be buggy, aren't you? Instead of holding a fixed value like a mere they hold a function. What? Maybe I completely misunderstood what they are saying. When we access the property with the usual username syntax, the function is called and we get its return value. Note the new get syntax in the next example. So here's get name. Okay, and I see the future. The get function, yes, I'm listening. The getter function can compute anything that we want. It doesn't have to return a constant value. All right, good to here. Clickety click. Okay, so here we have a concatenation of two strings, B and TTY, which will get us Betty. Hello, Betty. Add a name getter to this object. It should return whatever is in the username variable. All right, we can do that. So, la 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 la. Okay, get name, and this will return user name, like so. Bam. Looks a little bit weird, isn't it? Like here. I mean, I would expect like write like normal function like here, either get function. Well, it's different. It's different. Normal function would have a name and then function name that and this. But instead of function, we have this get. Okay, so that is different. That is different. And if we would have a lambda, it would be those guys, and then on the fat arrow, and then the rest. So this is instead of function name blah blah blah, it is get name blah blah blah. Is this the right syntax though? I think so. So the properties in the examples above are called getters. A mercifully straightforward name. Mercifully, at least something. There's a similar feature. Setters for writing to objects. Normally writing to an object key replaces the value at that key. Yeah, normally it does. Here's the name Betty, so we'll get that. And this will be Betty. Betty and Emma are really popular people around here. A setter property contains a function like a getter does. But this time the function takes one argument, the value being written to the key. As usual, the function can do anything that it likes with that value. Okay, so we have a real name, Samir, and when we do set name, oh, and I can call it like this, like it would be like object property. Huh. Wow. Okay, so the real name now is Betty, apparently. In which version of JavaScript it is this? I don't know. If we try to read the value of a setter, we'll get undefined. Uh-huh. The object has no value at that key, even though there is a setter for that key. So username, this will be undefined, apparently. We can combine a getter and setter in one object. Really? It seems weird, a bit weird at first. Oh yeah, no kidding. It is very weird, sir, or madam, because it looks like we are defining the same property twice. It's easier to think of it of yeah, so that will be okay. We'll get get name, set name. Yeah, it's easier to think of it of defining two parts of a single property. One handles getting or setting. Yeah, sure. So we have a get name, set name. We will set a Betty, and then we will have those two things. User real name after setting up that thing will be Betty. Betty. And if we get username, it will, well, it will return Betty as well. I thought it will be undefined, but it's not. Only if we have the setter only, right? So, bam. Oh, I mean bam. Okay. One use of setters is tracking changes over time. We can allow other code to modify our object in the normal way. One use of setters is tracking changes over time. What do you mean? Maybe they will explain. We can allow other codes to modify our object in the normal way using user.name equals blah blah blah. But behind the scenes, our username setter can store a history of what happened. Okay, now I get it. Add a name setter to this object. It should use push to append the name to the names list. Oh, list. I was thinking of array, but good enough. It looks like an array to me. So, setter. So set name, and that will be that. It will take input, and we will do names push input like so, and we will close the thing and go. Names is not what? Names is not defined. How dare you? Oh, I have to use this. Okay, so thank you very much. Uh, this dot names. Oh, that is interesting. I completely missed that use of this keyword, so now I hopefully will remember it. All right, here's a more complete example. As in example above, we use an array to store the history of users' names. Okay, we have the array. The user's current name is the last name in that array. Yeah, what I was thinking you will do. We also wrap the object in a create user function, so we don't have to hard code the initial name. Okay, so create user I wanna see. So here we have a oh yeah, I see. So create user. We put in a mirror and we get a mirror. Then get name will return us the last one, and uh, can't we do peak? Like JavaScript array peak. Can we do it? No, instead of I think we can. Oh, peak is on the first one. Okay. Peak back returns a value identifier. Huh. Okay, let's try that. So here I will do an array, and it will be 1, 2, 3, and then I will say peek back, and like so. And we get that. So now I will do let my array is equal to that 1, 2, 3, like so. Then I will do my array peek back like so. We have a 3, and now if I do my array, I still have all the things. So this I like much more than the thing they are using in here, and that is this thing. So I would do this names peek back. Yeah, that is much more readable, but maybe readers don't know this thing, so that's why they didn't use it. And peek is looking at the first. which I did not know. Now I do. So, constant user is equal to create user Amir, and then we set username, and then usernames will be Amir and Betty. So, Amir and Betty, like so. One more detail. First of all, congratulations to me. I did it correctly, and I even thought about better solution to this code, like better implementation. Yay! uh, all right, let's continue. Uh, One more small detail. The get and set keywords are required when creating getters and setters. If an object's keys are regular functions, they won't be called like getter and setter would. We'll get the old JavaScript behavior from before getters and setters even existed. What? We'll get the old JavaScript behavior from before getters and setters even existed. Ah, got it. So this one, name is a function, and when we want to do that toString, yeah, we'll get the entire function. And that is our lesson, ladies and gentlemen. Two things to choose from. So you know what will happen? What will happen? Math, seal, seal, and go. One. Oh, that's the first time for the longest time. Strict mode. Uh, we'll see. This course covers JavaScript as it exists today. It assumes basic familiarity with JavaScript. You should know how to define function and write an if. You should also have seen this keyword before, but you don't need to know about its confusing queries. Sounds familiar, all of this. Historically, variable scoping was a sore point of JavaScript. The straightforward assignment syncs defines global variable, which was really what you want. Yeah. Fortunately, modern versions of JavaScript have a strict mode. It prevents any. I think I already did this lesson, including global variable definitions like x equals 1. Strict mode is enabled by putting the string use strict at the top of the module or function. Babel, TypeScript, and most other JavaScript compiler automatically insert use strict for us. This course does that as well. All code here runs in strict mode. If we try to define a variable with x equals 1, we'll get an error. You can type error when a code example will throw an error. Error, 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 error is with my beautiful accent. Error. But error is the right English or US pronunciation, I think. Let's have a drink, shall we? Today I'm drinking a lot. Oh, I have a strong ginger brew because I have a sour broth, and I also have like these herbs. Well, one herb, but I don't know what the English name for it. Now that we didn't reference X, after trying to define it, the reference error is. Wait a moment. The reference error is happening simply because we set x equals 1. This isn't a flashy part of JavaScript, so why start a modern JavaScript course here? Because strict mode marks the beginning of a decade-long and continuing push to modernize the JavaScript language. The first step in modernization was to disallow some of the old, confusing behavior, like x equals 1, creating a global variable. We'll look at a couple more strict mode examples before moving on to another new features in JavaScript. JavaScript supports number in octal base 8. For example, 0100 in octal is 64. In base 10, however, octal is rarely used. In base, well, 64 in base 10. Okay. However, octal is rarely used. If you type 0100, it's more likely that you meant 100. To prevent that mistake, all users of octal cause error in strict mode. Oh, really? So that is error. Okay, so we start with 0 and that's it. One final strict, maybe you meant 1000, no, not 100, that would be, well, maybe. One final strict mode example. The delete keyword can be used to completely remove a key from an object. Oh, really? Now I'm intrigued and horrified as well. So this is undefined error. Ah, we are outputting the user. Halt your horses, boy. Name Amir. Here we go. Thank you so much. In the past, the delete keyword could also delete entire variables, delete user. However, in strict mode, trying to do that causes an error. So, error. Certain object properties are also undeletable. For example, trying to delete the object prototype property will cause an error. Deleting that property would wreak havoc on JavaScript's prototype-based object system. Okay. Uh, Error. And that's it. We have still 4 minutes to go. Unbelievable. Oh, let's continue. Did I click it? Maybe. Oh, well, we probably will not finish that one in time. JavaScript template literals. Template literals sounds fancy, doesn't it? JavaScript has always had two syntaxes for string, single quoted and double quoted. There's now a third type of string written with backticks. They are treated as ordinary strings. Hello is the same as hello in single quotes. Uh, hello, 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 true. These strings are called template literals. They have several features that allow them to be used as templates with holes that are filled in later. Interpolation is the most common use case. Interpolation means inserting something into something else. With templates literals, we can insert the result of any JavaScript expression into the string by wrapping it in dollar and curly braces. All right. So this one is 1 plus 1 equals 2. All right. This one is shouting to uppercase and whispering to lowercase. So we will get a shouting. I will use this. Is there a space? There's a not. So whispering like so. What I am shouting, whispering. Oh, oh. I see space in there and space. That's the right answer. I missed this part over here. So Interpolating with dollar sign and curly braces converts the value sorry, to a string by calling its toString method. Oh, really? Okay. For numbers, that works great, but for arrays, it probably won't do that what we want. For objects, it's definitely won't what we want. It definitely won't do that. Don't it, it definitely won't do what we want. Oh, come on, go. So, array toString is one. Okay. Object, object. Uh-huh. That's definitely not what we want. I did not even know that this will do that. Does it have to be in the in the bananas? What will do if I do this? If I do, where is it? So A1 like so to string. That's weird. I did not expect that to happen. This one is object. How come? Why? Because I can do this, right? I cannot. Sacre And this. Okay, I'm confused now. Okay, that's something I didn't know about. Let's move forward. So two numbers is two numbers space one space two. No, without a space, like so. Then we have object A1 and object. Okay, and object, and here will be an array, and it says object. Why is one big O and the other one, well, the first one is small o and the other one is big O? Oh, let's do this. What he will say, nothing. Okay. So if I do both small, it also did not like it. What the is what? Hmm. We can interpolate as many JavaScript expression as we like. Okay, so there's a 2, so there's a 4, so it will say 1 plus 4 equals 5. Write a function that writes out a sum the long way. The long way. Use template literals to build a string, including the two numbers and the final. Okay, now I understand. So they want this, so it will be x uh, plus, and now we will have another y equals, and now we will have this expression, and this will be x plus y. Where's crap? Y, and we will close the function. Oh, I did not close. I did not close in here. Okay. All of the usual string syntax also works inside template literals. For example, inside of quotes, this is backslash, quote is single quote. We can also write this inside template literals. Okay. So this one is okay, this one is quote. This one is also quote. Execute program renders the string result identically to no matter which syntax we use to define it. That's because template literals evaluate to regular strings when used in this way. Okay. Normally, JavaScript strings can't have new lines in them. No, yeah, but the string literals can. Okay, so it starts. Okay, this is the error. This is not the strings. Okay, so error. I did not even email equal. Oh, this is like this. This is the join new line. So this is false. True. Really? However, template editors don't have that limitation. They can contain new lines. This simplifies a lot of code. For example, here's an email template written using old-style JavaScript. This is a template. Hi plus name. Join. Okay. Here's a version with template literals. It's much cleaner. We don't have to constantly open and close quotes, and we won't have to merge the lines with join. Uh, okay, this, that. And it will say, okay, here's new line, space, hi, there's a space. Is there a one or two? Or is the space in here? I don't like this. Okay, so here's one or two spaces, oh, two. Oh, that's horrible. Hi, name Amir, next line, space, or two spaces, next line, two spaces. Is there three? Okay, well, this one is true, but that's horrible to read. There's one important difference between the two examples above. In the template literal version, the string includes all of the white space between the opening and closing backtick. That includes the new lines, which we wanted, but also includes the indentation on front of the individual lines, which we may not want. Yeah, that's the horrible part to read. There are ways to remove that leading white space, like dedent, dedent npm module. But sometimes the white space doesn't matter. For example, in most cases, white space between HTML tags won't cause any problems, so we can leave it in. Yeah, just for that thing though. All right, so we will finish lesson. We are great, my friends. You and me just finished another chunk of the modern JavaScript. I hope you enjoyed it. This thing will. Oh, is this active task? Oh, course task breakdown. Okay, so 21 log tasks. I will finish in about 24 days. Your recent rate 1.1 lessons a day. All right, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, we are 9 minutes over the time limit, so that means we are done. And done is better than perfect every single time. So, have a nice day. Bye.